Welcome back to On the Spot. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Dylan, and today we're watching Invincible. Check out the trailer here.
Come on.
Knock it off, Todd.
I think Amber's been pretty clear about how she feels. I'm nothing like my dad. I want to be just like you.
I've fought to keep this planet safe. Your power's got to be due any day now, son.
Morning. I'm scared, Dad. What if I can't do this?
Follow me. Slow down. Land. I said land. Stop! Get up.
I'm actually getting used to this a little.
That's not good.
You need to be better. After everything he's done, how can I live up to all that?
You need to decide what kind of hero you want to be.
That was you! In the blue and the yellow? Why don't you meet the team after school?
May we count on you in the future?
Yeah, I think so.
And bored of this.
Son, we need to talk. What I'm about to tell you will change everything.
Dad.
I wasn't ready before. Now I am.
You being a superhero is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Now take me flying or I'm gonna tell everyone you're invincible. Sorry, not sorry.
So, Dylan, what did you think about the first episode of Invincible? That's all we're reviewing today is just the pilot. So what were some of your first thoughts?
Interesting. It was an interesting start. I think it really quickly establishes kind of like the world that we're in. It's pretty futuristic, different from our own in that there's a lot of like supervillain, superhero conflict, and it's like a pretty normal, mundane thing to have like a lot of fighting going on. In like the first 15 minutes, they kind of set the stage. They show how there's this global like defense squad of superheroes, and then these like bad guys, like the recurring villains. And it almost gets kind of like tropey, like kind of usual to like a superhero story, because the main character Mark is waiting on his superpowers. And most of the first episode is just like a normal like Peter Parker before he's Spider-Man, Tony Stark, like Iron Man origin kind of thing. And then it just gets wild at like the last 10 minutes. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on like the first chunk of the pilot.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, like that it's kind of tropey, but at being a big superhero fan myself and like a fan of that classic story, I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. I liked meeting all the characters and like understanding where the powers come from and that kind of thing. I thought that it was fun to kind of recognize some of the voices in the first episode, and I pulled up the cast, and there's a lot of people that I think weren't even in the first episode. So I'm positive we're going to get introduced to many more characters. But I liked it. I thought it was good. But yeah, I think that the main thing to talk about in this first episode is the post-credit scene, which is really crazy because I started watching like maybe the first 2 minutes of the next episode, and it does lead directly into that next episode from the post-credit scene. So it's not something you're not meant to watch. It's not something like an Easter egg, like, oh, it's a teaser if you watch this. Like, it's fully a continuation of the story, which I thought was like a very interesting choice to put it after the credits. But in reality, they showed credits for like very quick, like 10 seconds, maybe not even, and then went right into the next scene, I think, so that people were like knew it was happening and
Yeah.
started watching it immediately, but like the tone change is so dramatic for that last scene, and it really kind of backtracks what the whole first episode was establishing a little bit, and like makes you question one of the main characters, Omni-Man, and you know, whether or not he's a good person. Makes you think about his son, Mark, and like what he's going to do about the whole situation. I think like as far as pilots go, this was incredibly successful in making you want to see more.
Yeah, no, like I watched the pilot maybe a day and a half, 2 days ago, and now I'm like pretty far into the season because it was so like grasping and entertaining. And I think, like you're right, it's just like it goes from like a tropey superhero story to like a new take. So it's super cool to see how it does that, and also just the drawing and the animation in this is like brutal. Like I don't know, especially in the post credits scene. Like I felt that, and I usually don't like get like squeamish or queasy around like depictions of violence, but that was like another level.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy, and I think that you know, that different take, that maybe not classic, a darker twist on a superhero story, is something that's been maybe more popular recently with The Boys, a show that was super popular also on Amazon Prime. So that's kind of how people that were describing it to me, they're like, oh, it's like an animated The Boys, or like not really, but kind of, because it is that darker twist on a superhero story. I also thought it was fun how like the types of characters they had. I don't know if it's just like a little Easter egg or like a little joke, but like how Darkwing is like Batman basically,
Yeah.
and like having, you know, just like these little jokes here and there. I thought that I wonder if like that will continue throughout the rest of the series, and I wonder how much the comic book writers are involved in the screenwriting or the making of the series at all.
Yeah, I guess these are all good questions because you're right, like it was a comic. I was just researching, and it was a comic before it was a TV show. And I think you know, another point that I really liked is the cast, and I think Steven Yeun and J.K. Simmons are like perfect voices to just kind of contrast each other as the main characters. So definitely like excited to see where they go from here, because it, you know, they're definitely gonna have season 2, season however many.
Oh, I'm sure. And yeah, I think Steven Yeun is really good in this, and so was surprised to see it was him. That was a voice I didn't recognize right off the bat, because I wasn't expecting his voice coming out of like a 18-year-old kid, but it works. It sounds good, and that's like, I mean, he's the main character, obviously, Invincible. I also, you know, just I liked the kind of like cheeky editing of like when they put in the title card and the stuff like that. I think all the little details in this show really are what make it special, and just like a cool new twist. And you know, I think I will definitely be continuing to watch it. So how would you rate this pilot on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think maybe the first half is like a good like 7, 8, and then the last like 20 minutes, then it gets to like 9. Like I don't know, super inventive way to subvert expectations and get me to want to like keep watching. And I definitely recommend the pilot to anybody just to try out.
Yeah, I think so too. I would definitely give, I mean, as far as pilots go, like I said before, this is so super successful, and I think that you have to give it an 8 or higher if you're into this kind of thing at all. So we're recommending Invincible. Thank you for sticking with us through this semester. This is our last On the Spot, and yeah, talk to you guys in the studio.
That's all for this week. If you want to follow more Review Crew content, go to the Review Crew Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as Orange TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Find the Review Q's podcast on Spotify or on our website at orangetvnetwork.syr.edu, where you can also find our blog and more OTN information.
Well,
that's all for now.
It's been a blast.
See you.
See you when we see you.
Bye.